For many men, aging does not arrive loudly. It arrives quietly, in silence, in routine, in long days that slowly begin to feel the same. And somewhere along the way, many older men stop talking about how they truly feel. Not because they no longer have emotions, but because they have spent a lifetime learning how to hide them. Most older men grew up in a different world, a world where boys were taught to be tough, to stay strong, to handle pain alone. They heard phrases like, "Man up," "Stop crying," "Be strong." And after hearing those words enough times, many men learned that emotions were something to bury, not something to share. So they became providers, workers, protectors. But rarely were they taught how to be emotionally open. As the years pass, this emotional silence becomes part of who they are. Then life changes. Retirement arrives. Children grow up and leave home. Old friends disappear. The phone rings less often.
And slowly, many men begin to feel invisible. For decades, their identity was connected to work, to responsibility, to being needed. But after retirement, many men quietly ask themselves a painful question. Who am I now? And perhaps the hardest part is that many of them ask this question alone. Older men often carry emotional pain in silence, not because they want to suffer, but because they no longer know how to express what they feel. Some feel lonely. Some feel forgotten. Some feel afraid of aging, afraid of weakness, afraid of becoming a burden. But instead of speaking, they stay quiet. And the strange thing about loneliness is that it does not always look lonely. A man can sit at a dinner table with his family and still feel emotionally alone. He can laugh in conversations while carrying sadness nobody sees. Many older men have no close friends left to speak honestly with, no safe place to say, "I'm struggling." So the emotions remain trapped inside, year after year. Over time, silence becomes a habit, and eventually, people stop asking how these men feel, because they assume, he's fine, he's strong, he doesn't talk much. But strength and silence are not always the same thing. Sometimes, silence is pain with nowhere to go. The truth is, many older men do not need advice. They do not need someone to fix their lives. What they often need most is simple human connection. To feel heard, to feel respected, to feel that they still matter. Sometimes, one sincere conversation can mean more than people realize. A simple question like, "Are you really okay?" can stay in a man's heart for a very long time. Because many older men have spent years pretending they are okay, even when they are not. Perhaps one of the saddest realities of aging is how many men slowly disappear emotionally before anyone notices. Not physically, emotionally. They speak less, feel less connected, withdraw more each year, and eventually, their inner world becomes completely silent. But maybe real strength was never about hiding emotions. Maybe real strength is having the courage to finally speak honestly, to admit loneliness, to admit fear, to admit pain, even after a lifetime of silence. If you are an older man carrying heavy emotions inside, please remember this. You do not have to carry everything alone. And if you still have an older man in your life, a father, a husband, a brother, a friend, take a moment to truly ask him, "How are you, really?" Because sometimes those few words can reach a place that years of silence never could. If this video spoke to you or reminded you of someone you love, leave a comment below. Sometimes the strongest men are the ones carrying the heaviest silence. And if you know an older man who may need to hear this, share this video with him, because no one should feel alone in silence. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories and insights about life, aging, and emotional well-being. And remember, it's never too late for a man to be heard.